Cooking breakfast and yesterday's leftover. Man, that one doesn't turn off. Cooking breakfast and yesterday's leftover chicken burger grease. I have to cut up these fruits and clean this bowl because, to be honest, this place is a mess. I've been faltering quite significantly recently. I need to do a better job. It's not that I need to kick it into a higher gear. I don't have any larger gears to go into. I need to make better use of my time and energy, prioritizing the things that need to get done. Otherwise, I'm not gonna make it very far. Whatever the hell that means. All I know is I'm not doing a good enough job. I'm not. It's not that I'm fucking up. In some ways, yes, but it's not. It's less to do with I'm fucking up under the idea that I'm doing the right things, just the balance of these right things are not correct. I'm focusing too much on important things, don't get me wrong, but not enough on other important things in light of these important things. I need to do better. I need to be better. I need to be more efficient. I need to prioritize schedule and not. Otherwise, I'm gonna fall right back into the hole, and all that progress I made over the last while would be for nothing because back in the hole, it's scary. But it wasn't something that I didn't expect to happen. It's not that I knew exactly that this was gonna happen. It was just that I knew eventually I'd run into problems. I don't know what the video is doing at the moment. I don't feel like talking to nothing at the moment. Okay, it's still going. Struggling quite a lot, and it's not a choice I willingly made, but it is a choice I could struggle more or less, depending on how I don't want to use the word fight, but how I act in accordance to solve those problems. I don't know. Sad part is I'm having moments where they're not moments that are moments, thoughts, feelings that are not, they're derived from intense feelings. Especially the more, let's say, negative types of feelings. I'm not saying a lot of this stuff I think is bullshit, and I don't take it too seriously, or I take the idea into account and I work from there. But a lot of these, I'm not doing this well. a lot of these things I'm thinking are true. I'm not gonna say this might not. This will all. I'm not gonna say I believe this is all for nothing. I'm supposed to go snowshoeing today. This breakfast is to make sure I don't go hungry out in the cold snowshoeing. But the more traditional idealism of all for nothing or for nothing, hopelessness, being kicked more into line with a level of reality I wasn't able to comprehend, follow, or I ignored. This, as many people might say, is all for nothing. I'm gonna end up, what I'm dealing with, I am coming to a greater acceptance might be terminal. And I don't know. It's hard to say that. Not the emotions, but the logic and knowing the unknown variables that I do not know to say that. And it's become ever more apparent these past few days as these problems have resurfaced for first time in a long time. What does it mean to love yourself? What does it mean to love? It means keep cutting this pear because you need to eat before you leave in a half hour. Yeah, that. But what's got me so worked up that I can't even cut up a pear, or I have to force myself through cutting up this pear is thought. I love my dog, right? If there's a pet owner listening, you probably love your dog. But what would loving your dog means not hurting it? Or yeah, let's go with that. Mine is the Pavlovian negative reinforcement that goes hand in hand with the positive reinforcement. Just positive reinforcement should be at the forefront, negative reinforcement being used very sparingly, and likewise gently. Okay. If you're going to be using a carrot and a stick to motivate something, you may as well put the carrot on the end of the stick. Yeah, I'll have to think about that a bit. What would happen? I know. What happens when a dog is going through so much pain? So much. It's not his time yet, but he's hurting. He's hurting bad. What does the principle of love dictate for you to do? And what other principles associated with love would you have to sacrifice to do what is right? Quite a bit. Jeez. What does it mean to love myself? What principles will I have to sacrifice to love myself like a puppy? Is it right to just throw in the towel and say, hey, I am going through so much pain, and I liken loving myself to loving my dog, so I'm gonna put myself down? Is that right? Is that true? How analogous is this simile? A dog doesn't understand why he goes through pain. I do. I understand the reasons. Or at least I have a comprehension beyond a dog's ability of reasonings that I can't fully fathom. And I could do it. I could live through this massive amount of pain if I find a reason why. I can withstand anyhow. But do I want to? I'm afraid of a why. Because having a why now means I'm stuck in anyhow. I don't want anyhow. At the end of the day, any why that I create for the purpose of withstanding anyhow, will that even come to fruition? I read a story of a man surviving the Holocaust because he endured the pain of going through such events by saying, all pain onto me is less pain onto my wife, in which he was separated from. That gave him reason. But when he survived, he got out and he discovered his wife didn't. I lived through some horrible shit because I had a why. It was my dog. It's a story. I always forget his name. The Japanese dog. Oh, you guys someone out there might know this. A man befriended a stray dog. The stray dog would meet him at the train station every single day when the man got off the train. This man dies. Medical complications or a heart attack, something like that. Nothing, the guy just dies. But the dog went back to the train station every single day to meet this man that would never come back. when I was agoraphobic, stuck in my parents' basement for years, nothing but a BlackBerry to watch YouTube videos off of all day, every day, wake to end. Eventually you run out of documentaries and healthy things to watch, and you just evolve into the YouTube rabbit hole, wherever those fucked up rabbit holes take someone. I was alone. Properly alone. Except my dog. He was there. Throughout all of that, the good, the bad, the walks and the weeks I didn't take him out. I would leave sometimes, go to doctor's appointments or something. And he was so used to staying with me that when I got home from these doctor's appointments, he would go apeshit. I promised that dog, if every time I left, every time I felt like I was gonna put myself down, that I would come back to him. I had to leave. It wasn't my dog. It was my elder sister's dog who gave up on him years ago. Moved, left, would sporadically come back to the family house once every 2 months type deal. She came back to live with us shortly before I was kicked out. And if I stayed in that house, they would have killed me. When I left, I had the opportunity to take him with me. Or, not really. And when I left, I was working up to the opportunity to have him over. And I'd fight tooth and nail to see him once. And then after I saw him, they demanded an apology, threatening to keep him... Oh man, it's disgusting. Threatening to keep him away until I gave an apology. Where the fuck is my apology? Where's their apology that I am deserving of? I've been apologizing this whole time. But I am the only one who can admit that I've done wrong. And everyone else just puts their problems on the only person who can accept that they have problems. I couldn't apologize. I could have apologized for the sake of Marshall. I could have. But I wouldn't have solved things. They still would have used them as leverage to get what they want out of me. And they don't even know what they want, let alone what they want from other people. That would have killed me. I had to leave. I had to break my promise. I might never get to see my dog again.